Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Super Sports Central. This is Sports News episode 28. Today we have a lot of sports to talk about. We have the NFL, the NHL, the NBA, college basketball, and the MLB. So we're going to start off with the NFL. Today was the franchise tag deadline. Some players that got franchise tagged were Allen Robinson, Leonard Williams, Justin Simmons, Marcus May, and Chris Godwin. I definitely think it was smart of the Bears to tag Robinson because he's an extremely talented receiver. And he's clearly their number one receiver. So I think it's smart for them to bring him back. The Giants franchise tagging Leonard Williams, they were trying to work out an extension, but they couldn't get the extension done by the deadline, so they franchise tagged him, and they look to still hope to long-term extension. Broncos tagging Justin Simmons. I think it's a good move by the Broncos because Simmons is a really good safety. Jets franchise tagging Marcus May. I don't really have much to say about that, but I think it's a pretty good move by the Jets because May is a good safety. And the Buccaneers franchise tagging Chris Godwin. I would not have used the franchise tag on Chris Godwin because I would have used it on Shaquille Barrett because Barrett is more of a valuable piece, whereas Godwin you could either draft a receiver or you can go out in free agency or you can trade for another receiver. So I would not have tagged Godwin. Instead, I would have tagged Shaquille Barrett. Players that won't get tagged, the Lions will not tag Kenny Golladay. I don't think that's a smart move at all. They should definitely franchise tag Kenny Golladay because he is definitely their number one receiver. And the Seahawks won't franchise tag Shaquille Griffin or Chris Carson. I don't think that's a good move either, but if I were to use it on one of them, I would use it on Shaquille Griffin. Dak Prescott gets a contract extension, 4 years, $160 million. He's guaranteed $126 million. I actually did a quick short on this last night when the news first came out. And I think that Prescott is getting overpaid. I briefly touched on this last night, but I think he's getting overpaid because, yes, he's good, but he's not as good as it seems with him getting that much money. So I would have definitely extended him, but not given him that much money. Maybe take off, maybe I would give him total the amount of money that he's guaranteed, so maybe $120 million. But I really don't think I would have given him that much. But the Cowboys seem to be really set on him. The NHL, there's really not any news. The best team is the Maple Leafs at 18-6-2, then the Lightning 17-4-2, and the Hurricanes 17-6-1. The worst teams are the Devils 8-11-2, the Red Wings 7-16-3, and the Sabres 6-14-3. Over to the MLB. We're nearing the middle-ish of March. That means the season's going to start sometime in the end. I will definitely have a blog coming out about my predictions for the season. And so that's it for my predictions. But some notable news. The Astros signed Jake Odorizzi. they signed him to a 2-year and $24 million contract. He is guaranteed $20.5 million. And Zach Britton of the Yankees is having surgery to remove a bone chip. So he'll most likely miss the first month at least of the season. I would. It seems not to be that serious, but I really don't see him getting out of it without. I don't think he'll be out for the minimum amount of time. I think he'll be out for more than a month, maybe 3 or 4 months. The NBA, the All-Star game was on Sunday, and Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons couldn't play because their barber tested positive for COVID-19. So that's pretty disappointing for them. Team LeBron hit the target score of 170 points. So they were doing the adding 24 for the fourth quarter again this year. So there's what it is. So it was, in this case, I'm pretty sure 146. And you add 24 to that, that gets you 170. So the first team to hit 170 wins. In this case, it was Team LeBron. And they got it on a half-court 3 from Damian Lillard. Steph Curry and Damian Lillard were both on Team LeBron, and throughout the game they traded half-court 3s. Giannis was 16 for 16 shooting, 35 points, and he won MVP at the All-Star game. The dunk contest, Andrew Simons wins the dunk contest, and he beat Obi Toppin in the finals. They did it a little bit differently than last year to make sure it wouldn't go super long like last year because it was at halftime of the All-Star game. So this time there was 5 judges like normal, and for the finals each person got 1 dunk, and then after the dunk, I think it was 1 dunk, but after then they each voted for the winner instead of having to give it scores like last year. Everyone keep getting 50s, and then yeah. 3-point contest was won by Steph Curry, and the skills challenge was won by Domantas Sabonis. I think I said his name right. He was the first Pacer to win. The games resume tomorrow of the regular season, so something to watch. The best and worst teams. The best is the Jazz, 27-9. Then the Suns, 24-11. Then the 76ers, 24-12. The worst teams are the Rockets, 11-23. Pistons, 10-26. And Timberwolves, 7-12. College basketball. I will go over the conference tournaments tomorrow, and because most of them start tomorrow, with the exception of the ACC, which I'll talk about today, briefly. But before I get to that, West Virginia was upset by Oklahoma State, 85-80. Illinois beats Ohio State, 73-68. And Michigan is upset by Michigan State, 70-64. Alright, now for the ACC tournament. The first round actually started today. There's 2 games played already, and 1 game actually going on right now. So it was Pittsburgh versus Miami. Miami won the game, so they're moving on to play Clemson, which is tomorrow. And then Duke played Boston College, and Duke won, so they're moving on to play Louisville. And then the game that's going on right now is Notre Dame versus Wake Forest. I think Notre Dame will win because they beat Florida State, I think either last week or 2 weeks ago. So the second round is tomorrow. and we have Syracuse and NC State. I haven't really looked into and studied a lot of this stuff. However, when I bring you my video previewing the entire March Madness tournament, I have everything researched and everything like that. So now I'm just going to make some quick predictions. Syracuse over NC State. Clemson over Miami. Now, Duke and Louisville. Really the only way Duke can get into the tournament is by winning the ACC tournament, which I don't really see them doing. But I do see them getting past Louisville. And North Carolina versus Notre Dame. I'll take North Carolina. So then that would put Syracuse, Virginia. I'd take Virginia. That would then put Clemson, Georgia Tech. I'll take Georgia Tech. Then Duke, Florida State. I'd have to go with the upset there with Duke. And then Virginia Tech, North Carolina. I'd go with North Carolina. So then we have North Carolina, Duke. North Carolina just crushed Duke a few days ago, so I'd go with North Carolina. And then Virginia and Georgia Tech, I'd go with Virginia. Virginia wins the ACC tournament. So, despite me predicting a strong showing for Duke in the ACC tournament, I don't see Duke making the field of 68. Alright, sports fans, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment if you have any questions or anything like that. And I will see you tomorrow when I preview most of the conference tournaments. So, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you tomorrow.